Hey, good morning, folks. Welcome to Thursday, the 24th of March, 2022. And what we've seen is a bit of appreciation in the equities front. Yesterday, quite a mixed session, really, for a lot of these markets. But ultimately, holding on to the sort of upper register area. NASDAQ really kind of coming back from Tuesday's highs. Then back down to the kind of jump point where the support was. We'll look at that in a second. But I think we are in a sort of a Wyckoff accumulation period at the moment. A little bit of the last 2 days of selling on, 2 days of selling on these equities, just a little bit of distribution before we're sitting into a new shelf and a new accumulation area to then move higher. And we'll look at that on the charts in a second. On the data slate today, we've had the composite and services PMIs coming out for the Eurozone and the UK. Then we're looking through to the US session for core durable goods orders, initial jobless claims, and market and services PMIs and manufacturing PMIs come out there about 1:45 p.m. So a nice bit of data on the docket. We have Biden at the NATO headquarters. Of course, now probably instructing some fiercer tactics, and all ears on that. But anyway, let's get over and have a look at the charts here this morning. A few of us in the room yesterday working the NASDAQ, which was very, very technical. So coming into the sort of Wednesday 9 a.m. selling down. The NASDAQ really finding support here. We were keeping a close eye on the VIX throughout the trading session to be able to really stay with direction on this market. And so while the VIX was kind of printing up as the equities were getting pushed down, you see my cursor is synced across charts here. NASDAQ, SPOOs, Dow, all printing down, albeit the VIX was in a compromised area and the bids coming out of the VIX, thus getting the turn here on the NASDAQ and printing back up to test on that high of prior day being Tuesday at the time. So, nice shorts then to be had. This actually unwound very quickly, and I did actually buy this little dip here and had a trigger trail stop on this, which, took a couple of bips out of this. But it was adamant that it was going to have to retest down in this lower range area. And so if we kind of get up on the, put this full screen, you kind of see how technical this market has been at this line in the sand. A lot of excess into the highs of this area here. It's actually a bit older than 20 days old, this line in the sand. You also got the 50 EMA bisecting this area as well, and the supports of the 14,370 spot 75. So as we printed down and tested that, you can see this morning, really late yesterday on the close, the supports were there. APAC knew they were there, driving it up as well. So very technical. This trend is now deleted because essentially it's we're in this sweet spot area of a range. Look, I think any sell down onto the 14,370s and the 50 EMA and this line in the sand will be supportive, and we will print higher. There is this open area on the top here in the NASDAQ. 200 EMA sits above 15,104s on this system anyhow. And then 14,810s is the nearer term target sitting between R2 and R3 there today. So quite a technical market, the NASDAQ. A lot of algorithmic execution in there as well. So there is a lot in all of these markets, it has to be said. So looking across on the SPOOs, what do we got on the SPOOs here? Just let me get this camera lined up here. What do we got on the SPOOs? Yeah, big test here for the SPOOs, right? We're looking, if we go out on the daily bars here, sort of mid-range. I know it's not right in the middle. We could be looking at, if you wanted something completely mid-range here, probably be the 44.56 quarters. We're not going to track that. Well, we can leave it on. We can leave it on. But essentially, what was this, a week ago? The 200 EMA coming on support there, driving up above the 100 EMA into that level we just put on there, 44.56 3/4. The top of this range is 45.25s even. Look, I think this is sort of just smooth this out a bit. So I think this is a very key area for the SPOOs. But look, ultimately we're going up, and I think ultimately within a week maybe we're going to be printing 45.64s quarter. That's my thesis, and I'm sticking with it. That level is the low of the 10th of January this year. An all-time highs by the summer. Get your S&P 5,000 hats ordered. TimmyTheTrader.com is about to go back online, and that will be the place to get your trading merch. So that's the SPOOs for today. The Dow really actually has been kind of the worst of the trio to trade, in my estimation, of the last couple of days. Back on the 50 EMA yesterday and this morning, pushing up. We had the test there on last Friday, the 18th, onto that 50 EMA, providing the support, then pushing up through the 100. But look at the trend here. Look at this. We just cannot, any of these days, we cannot open or close above this trend. Really, 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 really important stuff here. 34.702s, big line in the sand. That is actually just on the hard left of my charts. That's the low of the 18th of October 2021. And confluent with this trend, so really, really heavy resistance up here. Should we push up here, I think the next target 34.904s and beyond. So really, this is all to fight for in this area here. In this gray upper zone, which I'm actually going to turn red because it is just going to be an absolute horror show to try and do any directional trade in this box, if you like. So color red will do. So really a lot of resistance there for the Dow. All right, moving along. Oil. Yeah, I mean, look, oil was absolutely fantastic. One of the guys in the room taking a $5 or $6 move out of this yesterday. There is the move. Just a little doji now against this significant level, 115.12s, which was the high of day on the 3rd of March this year. But to really show you the move that occurred yesterday, lovely opportunity. See the gap here, the prior gap, which we know was filled, of course, but I left it on in gray. See the reversal down onto the bottom of that gap, a little bit of excess, can't hold below. 9 o'clock, buyers come in. It didn't look back from 109.95s to 115.12s. It never looked back, and lovely move there from one of the guys in the room. So I just wasn't able to capitalize on the initiation point down here and had to just watch it go the whole day. But I was happy with the NASDAQ yesterday. So yeah, look, that's a real big move done for this market. I think these prices are well justified. I think 113.35s. I would like to see the support remaining here. However, I would be perfectly open to any type of reversal back down to the top of this gap, buying then for the big push to the 123.11s. So, this move did happen fast. I did talk about that yesterday in the pre-US video. I did talk about that yesterday in the Discord room. There's no Monday morning refereeing going on here, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I mean, where are we going to find the jump point for the next move? I'm gonna monitor this, but I don't think it's gonna be a clean test of support 115.12s. You can see a lot of scrubbing on that level since we got there, and so I would actually be playing for the longs from 110s. But we don't have a very soft market at all here. So are we going to get a pullback of that magnitude? Well, we could use a trend here to kind of tell us where that may be, and so it's anywhere around here, right? So let's see how we go with this market for the rest of today and tomorrow, and probably the big prices for next week, notwithstanding headline risk. That's oil. What else? You've seen the bonds really dropping off this morning, down. What are we down? 0.5% so far on the bund. Tino's probably doing something. Well, no, it's holding up quite well. But these lower prices on these bonds are not going to help your gold trade at all, with the inverse correlation to the yield. You're seeing the bars on 1929. Yeah, look, you're making money. You're making $10 there per, or $10 on that trade. Um, there is a certain amount of range holding going on, like this little range here. Do you see this? There's a certain amount of this hold going on right now. But if you're going to see another, 20 basis points down in the bonds, I don't see gold holding this area. But for now, for me, I would be looking at the longs from pivot here, basically moving up. I just don't know what the catalyst is for this move at this time. So, gold really entering a sort of an autumn years as a product to trade, in my view. And Nat Gas, yeah, really nice technical stuff on Nat Gas this morning. You're seeing this gap on the overnight. I highlighted that in yellow. It's closed now as of 8 o'clock this morning, and you're just seeing the sellers working back down off that top. Are we going to find support in the pivot? I don't think so. But are we going to see higher prices before the weekend? Absolutely, absolutely. I think people are waking up to the gas trade now over this risk. But there is support below. Actually, I just said that as well. That's this upper range this range here that we've broken out of. I think we've come into that kind of markup phase, a Wyckoff theory markup phase, right? Quite clear here. Accumulation in this zone, and then bang, markup, and then a little bit of distribution here. But should we capitulate back down, I think you're going to see the buyers down here for sure. So, I would definitely be staying long my gas ETFs for the next 5 years. That's for sure. Euro and the dollar, I don't really want to talk about it. It's a very, very, very tricky trade. You're not really able to get much duration on these trades. You're either scalping it or you're having a hold. You have a hold for the next 3 months. That's kind of the only way to trade euro dollar right now. Albeit before I totally down talk this as a trade. Look, let's look at what we have. The facts are that we have this line in the sand area here, initiating from around like November 2019. It is putting up resistance on the Dixie right now. Bit of a doji here, sort of a hammer, candle 2 weeks ago. We've seen the resistance striking the price down. We're seeing the high on this week is the bottom of this zone. Yeah, look, short dollar, long euro. I like that concept for that. If you are going for that multi-day, multi-week hold, that's kind of what I'm getting excited about. All right, that is it for me for another pre-US session. Please do click to like and subscribe. It really would mean a lot to us here in the Duggan Capital Towers. And listen, have a good session. We had a really good session yesterday. If you're not in the Discord, you're just not in the Discord. You're missing out. All right, have a good session. Bye.